All right, guys, I want to show you what to do if your patio sliding door is not coming off. So I'm sure you know, and the reason we're trying to take it off is we're going to replace these rollers because it's not rolling very well. You can see on the base here where it's rubbing off the actual paint. And earlier I saw the broken wheel kind of pop out. So what you're going to see here is if you look inside here, you can kind of see a screw. You're going to want to loosen up this screw all the way until you're able to lift that, and you do it on each side. So we take our screwdriver and put it in the second hole here. You're going to go counterclockwise, and what that's going to do is lift the wheel up into the base. And what you should be able to do is lift this and clear this and lift one side up first and then the other. Now, obviously that did not work for me because one thing you notice here is this, the manufacturer, I called them and they said that this comes installed like this, where this goes all the way across, and they're supposed to cut the bottom here. So you can see the bottom is flush with this quarter round, and if I move to the right, it's way above the quarter round. Like right here, it's almost like ½ an inch above it. So what's going on is I'm able to get this end almost out, and I actually can almost get it out if I go to the far left here, but nothing else is budging. So unfortunately, it's either face multi-$100 service call, but I think what we can just do is come across here, and we're gonna try an angle grinder just to get that flush with a piece of quarter round, because I think then I can actually get this taken off. And you're gonna kind of wanna do this probably cleaner than I'm gonna do, but you're gonna just kind of come and make this flush all the way across, bit by bit, and just be careful not to be hitting the door when you're doing this. You can kind of move the door if you need to, but you can see we're making a little bit of progress, and right here it's flush, and we're just going to kind of edge it down to where it's flush with the actual quarter round here. And after this is all said and done, I'm likely just going to have to get a new piece of quarter round, because this one's going to be all cut up. It's kind of been weathered as well. But when you're done, you can actually take a sanding heavy grit sponge and just kind of go over this so it's not going to rip anything up. And then if I want to go portion by portion, I kind of come at an angle like this just to cut the piece off that I was previously doing. And you can see I actually cut the quarter round. There might be a better tool for this, but this is what I had, and this is what I used. I would recommend gloves with this because those metal pieces are going to be very sharp when they're coming off this. It's pretty sturdy metal because it's part of the main brace here. But this actually, this held up pretty good as far as the angle grinder I was using. So I was impressed. I just went through like one disc actually. So I did find myself having to kind of avoid the door, but I was able to move the door around to make my cuts that I needed to. And right here, I did make a little bend just so I would kind of have a little bit more room to make that diagonal cut right at the base here, so I would be able to take the door out. Would recommend using some type of gloves here so you're not going to get a metal splinter. Now that I had finished making the cuts at the base, I thought I would be able to close this door and then clear it from the threshold at the bottom. Now this was the most frustrating part right here, because you can see there's about 3 inches that I found when I closed the door that needed to be taken off, that the door was going to be right behind it no matter what I did. So I went ahead and just cut the base. I scored it at the bottom with the angle grinder. Then I did a lot of the work with just a very heavy duty Phillips flathead or flathead screwdriver. So you can see me kind of just going at it on the base, and you can see the door starting to come loose, which made me a little bit hopeful here. So I was going behind it with the Phillips, kind of bending where I could, coming back in with the edge grinder, and wherever I saw that it was coming out, just tried to go precision-wise with the angle grinder, realizing that there were some scratches on the door and that I'd be able to paint and touch those up later on. So And I was able to finally get this one last piece off. You can see with the flathead, it did the finishing move here. Now what I did is I lifted up and I took one end out. I think I got the left end out first, and then the right end I kind of pulled towards me. It kind of went diagonal, and then I was able to kind of, just by banging a little bit, it came out of the frame. So I was super happy with that, and I was just like, okay, let me go ahead and put the new wheel casters on, and we'll put it back on. It'll be a simple thing, and it didn't work out that way. So once you get the door off, I laid it like on a couch so I could look at it, and the wheel had totally come off. This is what it's supposed to look like. Well, this one actually had another crack on the other side, so I'm going to replace this one as well. But this is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what this looks like. Now this is held in by a single screw, which goes into this little track on the back. So this is a very small screw, and then after that you can kind of take a flathead and pull this off. When I did that, all the bearings fell out. This thing fell apart basically, so that's what that camera angle was. This is what it looks like. So guys, these just came in, and just a quick tip on these, I would definitely check before you take your door off what you need, because we ordered these and it was about a week and a half before we got them. So you don't want to be in a situation where you have your door off, your rolling door off, if it's really hard to get off, for a week and a half. So this is what they look like. Now when putting these in, you're going to want to make sure the screw is all the way flush against this. You can see here how it's not, and that will allow the actual wheel to be depressed and go up in here. You can do this afterwards also. And when putting this in, there is a little hole there, and this screw is going to go in there and hold it in. So I'll show you. So we are on the left side of the sliding glass door here. This is the right side, and I'll show you that crack. I just turned it, and this is going to fail probably within a month or two. So I just am going to replace both of them. When you do order these, they come in a pack of 2, which is very convenient. And you're going to want a flathead, because you're going to kind of flex this bottom piece to get it all the way in. It's just a little tip, and it's going to go in with the wheel facing this way. So you're going to have to kind of nudge it in a little bit, and it doesn't matter exactly where it goes, but you're going to want to kind of do it right in this area, and that's where the other one was. So, and there's not a hole necessarily for where the screw's going to go in. It's just going to go into this track. So we'll go ahead and put the screw that it comes with right in here. Again, you want maybe an inch or so in this area, because there's going to be a screw right here which holds the frame to the side frame, which I actually took out in the beginning mistakenly because I didn't know what was going on here. So this is the anchor screw that it comes with. It's just going to go into this little hole here, and you're going to have to screw it for a little bit longer than you would think, because you're applying pressure, and you're going to have to kind of screw this in while you're doing that, because it's going into a track. It's not going into a pre-drilled hole. So you're going to have to a point, make your own hole to start with. And you'll see I placed pressure on this and maybe waited about 30 seconds, and it did tighten up for me. And that's what's going to hold this rolling track into place. Now, once you have that screw tightened, you're going to come on the side into the bottom first hole, and you're going to turn this screw. So you're going to want to make sure that it's turned to where the wheel is going to be all the way recessed into the door. So that's not going to put up any, and you're not going to have any issues with it catching when you're putting the door in, and afterwards you're going to be able to turn that screw to set it back down, or to lower the wheel onto the track. And now we're going to do the same with this one. We're just going to remove this and put in the new one. Now, just a little trick, after you take out the screw, you can actually use the pry method here and then move it along the track to where there's maybe a natural opening that's a little wider. And I had to do this with the second one. I actually moved it all the way down to the left and used the flathead to kind of open it up, then pull it out. Near the end here, I made sure to put this screw back in, because this is actually a screw that holds the side frame at the bottom to this bottom frame part. And I didn't know it in the beginning, so I actually took it out, but I'm glad I didn't throw it away. Now, before you pop the track back on, one thing to do is you can actually sand this down a little bit so it's not going to get caught on anything, and make sure to move any rugs or anything like that that can get caught up out of the way. Now, when putting the door back, I find it easier to put it in on the top first, make sure each side is fully in, and then tackle the bottom. Then from here, you just put one side at a time in. I've got the right side in, then I'll come over and lift the left side up and back into the track. And you may have to use your foot a little bit to kind of shove it in while you're lifting it up. Otherwise, you may need 2 people here. And now you can see we've got it back on the track. We were successful, and you can go ahead and give it a test open and close here, and it should be working a lot better because you do have 2 full rollers now, not just one, or one roller and one not working. And you can go ahead and close it. One thing you can do is spray some WD-40 on the track itself, and you'll probably need to tighten up the handle as well because you've been pulling it likely a lot more with one failed roller at the bottom. See how this is bare metal? Just get a spray paint, some Rust-Oleum, spray that down. Then, as a last resort, you can put a little WD-40 on it, and then you should be good to go. Might want to vacuum up this little track as well, but hope that helped, guys, and make sure to tighten your handle if you need it.